Hi guys, hi everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it's been a while. And make sure that I am live on all the different platforms that I have here because I'm streaming. So welcome, 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 everybody. I know it's been a while since I have been um, doing lives and stuff, but this is something that I am going to be doing on a regular basis, right? Probably like once a week or so. I'll share more about that later on, like tomorrow, because I'll be having a show that I'm launching on Thursday, but I'll share more about that another time. Today, I really wanted to talk to my single woman or single God and divorced woman. For those of you who don't know, I have been divorced since 2019. And that part of my life was like navigating divorce, right? Or navigating life after divorce was a bit challenging for me. So I wanted to come on and share with my singles, right? My singles, especially the women who have been, you don't have to be a divorcee, right? But it's for those who have been married and then got a divorce or even a breakup, right? If you had a relationship, you were in a relationship, and then there was a horrible breakup or whatever. And how did you navigate that? Like, how did you go through that process? And even for those who were engaged, because I know some women who had been engaged and then they also had to go through that process, right? So I'm going to be talking about that. Let me just make sure that my stuff is on. All right, so the topic I want to share briefly is I'm not going to be here long. You're not waiting, you are preparing. Because a lot of times I hear women say things like, I'm just waiting on God to send me my husband. I'm just waiting, I'm just waiting, I'm just waiting. But I want to encourage you and I want you to look at this from a different perspective. You are not waiting, you are becoming. You are becoming. So let's break this lie that what we have been told, or maybe told ourselves that we are just sitting here waiting on a man, waiting on God to send me my husband, right? So you are not waiting, you are becoming. You are becoming the healed, whole, powerful woman that God has created you to be, right? This season of singleness is not a punishment. It's protection, it's preparation, it's purpose, right? You are not here to hold, you are in divine development, right? And a lot of times it can be very frustrating because I've been there and I'm not in that season in terms of like that season of frustration, you know. And a lot of times we can be saying, God, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Or where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Like I'm tired, I'm sick and tired of waiting so long and nothing is happening, right? Maybe you need to kind of like switch that a little bit, right? Because that sounds more like anxiety, right? When we think about, oh my God, I'm getting older, the clock is ticking, the biological clock is ticking. For those of you who want children, right? You may be thinking, oh my God, what is happening, right? Alignment is everything. Alignment is everything. So for those, you have to remember alignment is everything, not anxiety. The Bible talks about being unequally yoked, right? The man you were praying for, the one you journal about, right? You know, we've been told journal all the qualities that you want in this partner, right? Journal it, write it down. But we have to become those things. And this is what I'm saying is preparation, right? So we have to become what we are asking for. Because then if we have all these wonderful qualities that we want in a person, if we are not that, that's a misalignment and it will not last. You know, and I know we don't think about it like that, but if the fact that you desire, let's say you desire this person, right? You have a desire for this person. It means that this person has already existed. he or she, they are already in existence somewhere out there in the universe. They are already in existence spiritually, energetically, emotionally, right? But that desire that you have, that prayer that you're praying for, the vision of the person that you're seeing, like all on your vision board and all of that, it requires alignment. The Bible calls it equally yoked. We talk about compatibility. Metaphysics call it energetic resonance. You are either aligned or misaligned. And if you don't have that person in front of you, don't sit and wait and wait. You become what you're seeking, what you're asking for. Become that person. Prepare yourself because you have that desire already. So that desire is evidence that this person exists, right? Because God don't give us empty desires. So the real question is the version of you right now, the version of you right now, is it in alignment with the partner, the covenant partner that you are asking God for? Is that version of you right now as you are is in alignment? And we have to be honest with ourselves. And I was there and I said, God, no, I'm not. So it's not about shame or embarrassment or whatever, right? That is to invite you into the next phase of your preparation, which is healing. Listen, I could give you stories upon stories upon stories about dating. Oh my goodness. Dating, right? And this is why I don't date. I just focus on myself, focus on the things that bring you joy and peace and your purpose and all of these things. Trust me, they're going to come. He's going to come, she's going to come, right? And this is where I want to talk about preparation and why you are in preparation season, right? And not in that waiting season. You are becoming the person that you are asking God for. So let's think about preparation, right? So think about like if you're applying for a high level position, right? And I said this some time ago. I said, you know what? When I was in a hot mess, I mean, not this healed version, because I'm still healing, right? But when I was in a hot mess, like in terms of like, oh, hot mess, it was so easy for me to find somebody. Easy. Dime a dozen, like we say in Trinidad. Dime a dozen, right? It was easy. But you see, when you start healing, when you have boundaries, when you have standards, right? Because healing brings those things, right? Healing gives you standards. You can say no without feeling ashamed or feeling guilty. You have a certain level of standards when you are, because you would not accept any and anything. You wouldn't accept any and anybody to treat you any particular way, right? So if you are applying for a high level position, doctor, CEO, therapist, whatever, judge, whatever, right? You are applying for a job. You don't just hope for the job. You prepare for it, right? Before you even prepare for that job, you have to go through training. You have to meet the qualifications. You have to get licensed. You have to be certified. You have to be examined. All of these things we have to do before we could even apply for that job. A lot of times people say, well, I got a job that I was not qualified for. No, you were qualified for that job. Trust me. Maybe consciously you didn't see that, but energetically you were a match for that job. That's why you got it. Because when there's a mismatch in whatever we are doing, it's never going to last. Because that's just how the law of the universe is. That's just how things work, right? There must be alignment in order for something to be sustainable. So if there isn't alignment, it's a mismatch, it's unequally yoked, and it's not going to last, right? So the higher the job or the higher level position the job requires, the qualifications, right? So is the training. It's the same thing with love. Love is no different. Like love is no different. So God is not going to give you a purpose partner and vice versa that you're not prepared to walk along side with. He's not going to do that, right? So even if you get that person for a while, you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to sabotage that, right? So you get the job you wasn't qualified for. Like I said, no, that's not how it works. You were qualified for that. Maybe not on paper, but spiritually, energetically, you were already aligned in some way. That's a universal law, right? So 3 of the things I want to cover briefly that helped me and is helping me in that preparation season, right? So let's walk through that 3 pillars that transformed my life, even after divorce, and that brought me back to myself. Because a lot of times when we get married as women or whatever, like for some reason we lost ourselves into that marriage, right? Like our identity and everything. Like sometimes we just lose ourselves. That's why after a breakup, after divorce, whatever, it's so hard. It's so hard to even find yourself again, right? So one of the things I did and still is doing is healing. That's number 1. Healing, unpacking the past so I do not drag that into the future or into my present relationship. We need to unpack that. After divorce, I felt like, oh my God, part of me died. And because that's what divorce to me, it's like death, right? The loss of dreams, the loss of like so many things you plan together, right? Your future, your sense of self, like you start to question yourself. Did I make the right decision? Like, the ego always wants to come and tell you, all this foolishness, right? Divorce is grief, it's death without a funeral, so to speak, and what makes it worse is that we were taught to move on too quickly. Some people just soothe themselves into other relationships and they start moving from one relationship to the next because they don't want to deal with the discomfort and the pain of what that divorce or breakup brought, right? But you cannot heal what you don't honor. So healing looks like sitting with that pain. We got to sit with it, not run away, right? Releasing the shame around how the relationship ends and stop criticizing yourself. Stop being hard on yourself and talking about, oh, I should have known better. And that's not going to help you. So forgiving yourself and releasing guilt is important. Reparenting your inner child, identifying your triggers, your patterns, your childhood wounds, because we all have it, right? So the patterns, what are the patterns in your relationship? Like when you look at your relationship, right, what is the pattern that you're seeing? Because we have to be conscious of that. We have to look at it as feedback so that you wouldn't take that again into the next relationship. Because a lot of women want to get married. We want to get married, want a spouse, men too, right? They want this, but we cannot be triggered by, not we cannot be triggered. Pay attention to your triggers and then ask yourself, why am I triggered by what this person said? And why is it that I feel like as though I have to control everything, right? In that situation. So that's a wound. That's a childhood wound. So learning to regulate my nervous system was another key thing that I had to do, because we got to know, like relationships are mirrors. Relationships are mirrors, right? And we have to, there's a book that's called, what's the name of the book? How to be an adult. How to be an adult in a relationship. You only to get that book. There's 2 books. One, I'll share it with you after. 2 of them that you all need to get, especially if you're looking to to be in a relationship again, because all of us think that we are right, we are perfect, right? And this is why I said relationships are mirror. They mirror back to us, or they reflect back to us what it is that we need to heal in our soul. So if you're dating somebody and then that person triggered you by what they said, it's not them. We have to take that, what they're saying and how we are feeling. So if it is that I said something and what the person said triggered me, I have to say, okay, why did that trigger me? Because a trigger is an indication of an unhealed wound, right? But the ego will try to say, oh, you did this to me. Oh, you did that to me. Oh, why you didn't do this? Or why you didn't say this? Or this is how you should have said it better. And all of that. That's a trigger wound. And I have to ask myself, why was I triggered? I'm not talking about abuse and people being disrespectful and stuff like that, right? I'm talking about, because there's a thin line with that. But people who say things and you get triggered by what they said or what they did or didn't do, and these are great way. It's great feedback. It's data that you can use towards yourself. But what do? You become overreactive, right? Because it's a wound. And then it's a little child in you who that wound, because your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. So that feeling that you're feeling inside that is making you want to react, that is a sign that, you know what, my inner child is wounded and my inner child feels invalid. My inner child didn't feel seen or heard. So it's a wounded inner child. And we have to pay attention to those feelings and not take it out on the other person. Because if you are ready for marriage and you're not dealing with that, it's not going to last. Like, it's going to be, nope. If you want a healthy love, a healthy relationship, it starts with us. It starts with us first, right? And this is why I'm saying relationships are mirrors. People are mirrors. So if every time somebody is speaking, you are dating and somebody triggered you, again, I'm not saying disrespect, because you got to set your boundaries. I'm saying trigger. And how do you know if you have a trigger? You're going to feel that inside of you. You start to feel intense, or you feel like if your ego has been, like somebody bruised your ego, it's coming from that place. You'll know, right? So we have to learn to regulate our nervous system. Regulate your nervous system, right? Healing is not about being flawless. Absolutely not. Because it's a process and we learn as we go, right? But the only how we learn is that we have to be able to acknowledge and then do the work, right? So it's about becoming more aware, being more compassionate, and being in control of your life. Because until you heal, I'm telling you, you're going to keep attracting the same pain in different bodies, the same spirit in different bodies, the same. So if you're saying to yourself today, God, where's this spouse? Where's this spouse? Oh my God, I'm tired. That is an indication that there is work to be done, because that person who is supposed to come into your life, who is there waiting, you have to be in alignment. You have to be equally yoked, not only spiritually, right? So that's one of the things I did, I'm still doing, is healing, right? Healing. Let me see. Make sure I have my next one. So healing, number one. Number two is rebuilding your identity. What does that mean? Sorry. What does that mean, rebuilding my identity? Before, you're a wife, you're a woman, but somewhere in the marriage, you forgot her. or him, right? Or whoever is listening, male or female, right? Oh my God. Hold on. Something is blocking. I don't know why. Are you all hearing me? I hope you all are hearing me. Okay. So before you were a wife, you were a woman, right? And when it ended, well, for me, let me talk about me. When it ended, I realized that I didn't even know how to live for me. Everything had been wrapped around us, the goals, the house. This stage of becoming was, for me, was asking, who am I? Rediscovering what I loved, what I wanted in my life, my goals, my vision, my dreams, redefining success, right? What does success looks like, not based on a marriage, but based on meaning, based on purpose. Reclaiming my voice, my desires, and my God given identity. So whether that was so whether you are coming out of a breakup or a marriage, you have to remember that you gotta rebuild the blueprint of your soul, because identity rooted in partnership will crumble when that partnership shift. But identity rooted in purpose, that's unshakable. So you gotta redefine success. What does success look like to you? What does reclaiming your voice look like to you? Your desires, like all of these things, right? That was the second thing that I had to do. And again, still doing, because everything I'm sharing is what I'm still doing, but how I started and where I'm at. So healing, absolutely. Rebuilding identity. Who are you without the title? With all of the title, and this doesn't even, and this go beyond marriage, right? Who are you without all of the titles and the roles that you play in your life currently, right? And then creating joy, like you deserve to live fully, like stop putting your joy on layaway. Stop um just not going out there. Go out there and have fun, right? Stop waiting until somebody show up, then you can go here and do this, and when this partner shows up, then we can do this together. No, do it by yourself if you have to, right? Or with some friends, right? Enjoy your life in this season. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to travel by yourself, explore new hobbies. Like I was talking to my friend recently, and I was telling her I want to go do learn play golf. So we're going to start doing golf, right? The other thing I wanted to learn to do was go do roller skating, because I don't know, like keep falling, right? But I'm going to learn to do roller skating, learn to go dancing, right? Do ballroom dancing. Those are things that I really love, and I want to go and do it. Go back to school. I've been there, done that, right? So go out, dream, do whatever with all apology, because joy is not about being selfish or anything like that. But the joy of the Lord is your strength. So if the enemy can steal your joy, he can weaken your preparation. Reclaim it. So all of those, these are three areas that I have been working on in my life, enjoying my life, and I don't sit by and wait and say, oh my God, where's the man? Where's the man? Where's the man? Like, no, none of that. You hear me? None of that. Like, I don't sit by and wait. If I want to go somewhere, if I want to do something, I am going to do it. If I want to travel somewhere, I travel. If I want to drive to a different state, I do it. I do not sit by and wait with anxiety or whatever, anxiously for this person. Let them find you doing something that you love, of course, right? Find you enjoying happiness. Because the more we sit by and just wait, it's like you're just waiting your life away. This is why I'm saying this is preparation season, right? It's not to sit by and just wait and be in frustration. Because if you're frustrated, that means you're not ready. And you are going to make the wrong decision, because the enemy is going to send the wrong person to you. I'm telling you, right? If you are waiting, this is for somebody, one person. So if you are waiting and you are frustrated with waiting, it means you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not happy in yourself. You're not contented in yourself. You don't enjoy, you have to enjoy your own company. You have to be content with where you are. Acceptance. I didn't talk about that one. But if I had to name a bonus point, it would have been acceptance. Accepting where you are in life and enjoying it to the best of your ability. Acceptance. Because if you are where you are in this particular situation, it is for a reason. What is the lesson that I need to learn, God? What are you trying to teach me in this moment? Because if I am frustrated, it means I'm not thinking clearly, right? And I'm going to make a bad decision. Because I'm making a decision out of hunger, out of need. You don't need anybody. Whatever you have, whatever you think you're looking for, you already have it. You have everything within you. So if you think that you need, that's a lack. That's a lack mentality, lack mindset, and you are going to choose from that place, and it's not going to be good. And this is why I'm saying you've got to prepare yourself, fill yourself. Whatever void that you are feeling inside, sit with it and ask God. A relationship cannot fill that void. Trust me, it's not. Because you are going to realize sooner or later that you're not happy. And it's not the relationship. It's the void within you that only God can fill. So you have to sit with yourself and heal those parts of you that feel empty. It's just like people who try to take, alcohol or drugs or all these different things to fill a void. Well, what is the void? It's a pain. It's a pain, that pain that they're feeling inside of them, and they think that the drugs are going to help them. But that's a temporary fix. But we don't do temporary fixes here. We deal with the root cause of why you are feeling that way. So if you're not in that situation, not in a relationship or ready for a marriage, it means that you're not ready. That's it. Like point blank period. Take the stress off. Take all the not ready. God, where else in me that you need to work on? Because marriage will bring out some things in you. You hear what I'm saying? Marriage will bring out some things in you that you never thought were there. Because it's one of the highest levels of service to each other. And getting tied up with the wrong person is tough, right? It's very tough. So this is why take that time that you have right now. This is not punishment. Singleness is not punishment. Single season is not punishment. It's a season to prepare. Do your work. Focus on purpose. Focus on purpose. Right? Do those things that bring you joy and be happy. I don't know how people can say they're bored. There's so many things I do when the day comes, like, wow. But things that I love, of course, that I find joy and fulfillment in now. It was a process. And like I said, the first thing I had to do was heal. Get you a therapist, get you a coach, get you somebody who can help you. The books I was talking about was the one that I mentioned to you was on becoming an adult, right? How to be an adult in a relationship by David Rico, and 8 Dates by Dr. John and Dr. Julie Gottman. Read those books. If you're serious about preparing, 8 Dates and How to Be an Adult in a Relationship. See, that one, it hit me deep because it broke down the 5 keys to mindful living. It talk about attention, affection, acceptance, appreciation, what else? Allowing, right? It helps to see, it helped me see where I was performing for love instead of receiving it, and how to break those cycles. That's a powerful book. You need to get that book. I need to go and read it again. I read it a while back, but my mindset is different now where I'm at, so I need to go read it again. And 8 Dates for people who think, there are people who say, I don't know what to talk about. Yes, but not only about the budget, not only about how we're going to parent or raise children if you want that, but it talk about 8 fundamental conversations that every lasting relationship must have, right? Learning how to communicate with emotional maturity before love arrive, like before, not while, like. And this is why there's so much in preparation than sitting by and just waiting for somebody. There's so much. What am I doing to become more emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent, right? What am I really doing when it comes to all these things? So these are some of the things that I want to share with you all, because sitting by and just saying I'm waiting for God to send my husband or my wife, and yeah, listen, we don't want to go into a relationship when you have to end in a divorce. So you are not just sitting around hoping to be chosen. You are choosing yourself daily. You are becoming the woman or the man who will walk boldly into a partnership whole. Would Do you have to be 100% healed? Absolutely not. But there are certain parts of us that have to be healed before we enter into a relationship. We can't be overreactive, just always reactive. And like that is not a healthy man or woman is not going to deal with that. Right? So when you meet your spouse, they don't complete you. You should already be complete, and they complement you because you already did the work to complete yourself. Nobody can complete you. You are already complete in who you are, right? God made you complete, right? So honor this season that you are in, and you're not waiting, you are becoming, right? And if you're ready to go deeper, you know where I'm at, or I can walk you through therapy, walk you through coaching, whatever. You know, I've been there, done that, and I'm still there. I'm still there. How long? 2019. I mean, it's, I don't know, probably 7 years now. But I have no, like, I'm at a place in my life where now it's like, I'm very content. Like, honestly, do you want to get married? Yes. But if it doesn't happen, are you okay with that? Absolutely, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Because I have so many things in my life that bring me so much joy, that I feel so complete, that I would not settle, like a lot of times people say. I'm not going to settle, right? But I am still working on myself. I am still becoming that person who God has created me to be, that woman for my partner. Whenever that time comes, whenever. There's no time, there's no clock. I haven't put no time frame on that. When it happened, it happened. Right? So anyway, you all have a wonderful Tuesday. I just wanted to come in and jump on quickly and share up with you all. And I'll see you in the next live. Bye. I don't know if I saw any before I go. If you were commenting, I wouldn't see, right? Because I forgot you were supposed to say, because the StreamYard, so I wouldn't see at all. But anyway, see you guys. Bye.